Welcome. Tuesday night, 7:04. A couple of minutes late because Shawn just rolled right in there at 7:01. Gave him a little background. We talked a little bit, and he was like, "What are you up to?" And I was like, "Let's do that live, dude. Why not? Let's make it happen." If you guys don't know, this combo of dudes has done some pretty amazing stuff and like kind of under the radar a little bit. Like these aren't your like household name kind of drag and drive dudes, but they both have absolutely badass, just cool stuff that they like to cruise around. Shawn's kind of known for that Nova kind of OG, and he's been back with a handful of other cars, a 55 with a crazy motor. That's his kid when he's still a kid, before he had his own kid, and he showed up with this thing to Sick Week because that's how he rolls, and then Sack dude on his own comes around with the Cowboy Up Nova. And he's got his stuff going, wheels turning, and then shows up with the heavy leaf spring twin turbo big block Nova all of a sudden out of nowhere. And then Fink shows up with the now olive oil is what it's called, I guess. I told him that's horse shit. Olive oil, I don't like it. And he's like, "Don't, I've already got hats and shit printed up and it's olive oil." I don't think he actually does, but it's growing on me because that thing is sweet as hell. And Sack rode shotgun with him on Big Sky Race Week, and we are going to talk about Big Sky Race Week because, guys, believe me when I tell you, the one or 2 days we get in the mountains with Rocky Mountain Race Week, those 1 or 2 days trump any 1 or 2 days on Big Sky, in my opinion. But every day on Big Sky is like the lead up to one of those just absolutely epic days in the mountains. I think it was off the chain, absolutely crazy. Every day was a cool drive. Stevie loved it. I loved it. We got to see some cool stuff. I think these guys loved it, and we'll talk about it. And they got a pretty quick car. When I say they, I mean Shawn. And, of course, Jason has his own fast stuff. So those two, though, just tackled that Big Sky Race Week deal in that olive oil ride. And that's going to be a quick car, riding there with Royce Payton's car called Sloppy Seconds. And we're going to talk to him about that at some point because it's going to be good. But he's been on the show as well. Go check it out. These guys also drove that thing, and that's a terrible photo. It just didn't download right. Like across the country. And we're going to talk about that trip as well. If you guys don't know, that has a ZZ 632 GM Performance crate motor in it that's 1,000 horsepower on pump gas. It does like apparently burnouts like on a switch. So we're going to talk about that. But man, tonight's going to be absolutely crazy. It's all Wyoming. So there's some pedal internet happening as well as South Dakota. Same deal. Like we just got the water set up to run the internet, and it's terrible. It hasn't rained in a couple of days, so we just deal with us, guys. We just got dial-up phones, so it's going to be a little bit Western out here on That's Cool Drink, episode 80. Shawn, Fink, and Jason Stack. Let's get it going, guys. Best countdown in the game.
What's happening?
In my opinion. Dude, what's going down, man? How are you guys doing?
Good. And yourself?
Oh, man. I'm having a great day, great week. Things are awesome. It's hot as hell. Jason and I were talking about that before while we were waiting on you. It is hot as hell out.
I wasn't waiting. You weren't waiting on me.
I mean,
just a little.
Just a little, just a little. But no, dude, it's been hot. But other than that, like things are awesome. Things are really cool. And how are you guys? What do you got going on in your lives at the moment?
Working,
Go,
working
go,
church.
Jay. You go.
I said working church, no, just planning on the next event or working on cars and trying to get the maroon car dialed in, ordering parts and pieces and making money in between to pay for all that crap.
Unfortunately, that's how it goes. Sean,
That-
what are you up to?
That dial-up connection. That dial-up. It's hot. It's
It
hot.
is hot. It's real good. Whatever you're paying that guy, you need to have it.
Yeah. No. Life's been busy. Between the construction business and the shop, and usually we do quite a bit more camping in the summer, but this year has just been kind of hectic and stuff. So, yeah, we just trying to get some customers' cars out and finishing up projects of our own. We're getting ready to go to Riverton to their I think it's what is it, the 34th Rocky Mountain Rebels car show in Riverton there.
Yeah, I think somewhere in there.
Yeah, something like that. So we've got an old nostalgia cackle car.
Oh, is that what's behind you there?
Yeah, this is the old nostalgia car that we're getting ready.
Hell yeah.
It runs on 90. We usually run it 94, 95% nitromethane.
Hell yes.
And so we're gonna go down there Friday night and do that. So we've been getting that ready, and yeah, just hotter than frick out here, dude.
Oh yeah. You can say that, by the way. It's okay. We have an adult audience. We drink on this show. It's okay. I gotta know, because Stevie and I have talked about this. It's a big commitment to own a cackle car because like they don't have a transmission. You got to push that crap around all the time.
Well, mine. When we restored this car, it actually does have. It's got a B&J in and out box, a Crower. It's got a Crower twin disc, or it's actually triple disc Crower in it. Velvet touch clutch. It is actually set up to run. When we put the motor together, it's got Mickey Thompson original 60s Mickey Thompson aluminum rods. It's got a King. King was in the nostalgia world back in the day, King's custom crank. It's a billet crank, stroker crank. It's got Mickey Thompson pistons.
Cool.
Donovan rocker shafts. I mean, it's legit. B17 Edelbrock B17 magnesium intake on it, a Bauer magnesium blower. We run the blower at 28 over on it, where most cackle cars usually keep them at like straight up. They don't overdrive them. And
right.
I was like, man, if we're gonna do this, let's do it.
Right.
And it's proven. I mean, we were fortunate enough. I think it was like 2008. We got on the cover of a National Dragster with it.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's what
would
we
it run if you could put Jason behind the wheel of that thing?
He's gonna be he's next Friday.
No shit. Nice. What would that craft run though?
Logistically, back in the day when my granddad was running, they were running high 6, low 7s,
okay.
And double A fuel.
Right.
Back in 67.
Yeah, and when you're talking the era, I mean, that's the top fuel of the time. You're the bad dog on the planet if you were that dude.
Yeah, double A fuel back in the day. And I've got a bunch of memorabilia from I've got Mark Williams 1971 Stars and Stripes suit in my office, and a bunch of old nostalgia memorabilia that I really don't even fart around with anymore because we got so deep into drag and drive stuff.
Right.
And so that's kind of, believe it or not, that's where my heart and soul really is nostalgia cars. Oh my God. I mean, I got it tattooed on my arm.
All right. All right. We'll see the rest of those tattoos later on in the show as he has additional whiskeys, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Jason, what got you into racing cars? What got you into being a car dude?
So I lived in Minnesota. I grew up in Minnesota till I was about 30. And I lived in a little town called Madison Lake. That's where Craig Grubner lives with Grubby and Maroon Nova. And that whole town.
Something about Novas out there. Something in the water.
That whole town and area is like back when I graduated high school was just everyone had something, jet boat or fast cars, and every little people you wouldn't even expect. Old people, young people, everyone had stuff sneaking around and laying rubber everywhere. And I didn't have enough money to own one, but I had a couple cool friends that owned them that were a little older than me, and they let me enjoy their cars, and I washed the windshields. Just like I always say to Shawn, can I come along and wash the windshield and check the tire pressure, you know?
Right. I was just going to say that what a symbiotic, like, I mean, this is your whole life. You've been hanging out with the old guy.
Yeah. And so a guy named Ken there, that's like where I learned the firing order of a Chevy, you know, that's, you cut your teeth that way. And they did.
You mean you didn't learn it from Freiberger?
You didn't buy one of his shirts?
And so basically I just tagged along, and then finally that my friend Ken actually bought a Corvette. I want to say it was like a 71 or so, somewhere in the mid 70s. And it had side pipes and it had a small block in it, like a 406 with the Pro Charger on it. And I said, well, what'd you buy this thing for? He said, well, you need something to race when you go. So he didn't buy it, give it to me, but I could use it. So I got to use his car, and pretty much that, then you just have to have something, you know.
Sweet.
You had to have something.
Sweet. How old were you when this was going down?
Right after high school.
Okay.
So somewhere in there. And then from that same guy, he had a blown rear engine dragster. One night I tell the story, one night at the bar, he said he was going to sell his dragster, and I asked how much, and he named a price, and I said, well, I'll take it. So I go home and I tell my wife, and it came with a little old vintage little skinny trailer, you know, you put them things in. And I go home and I tell my wife that we have a handshake deal at the bar last night that I'm buying this dragster. And she's like, well, you have like $212 in our checking account. What are you thinking?
and the check that you wrote to the bar hasn't cleared yet.
I wrote a check that night too, because I was like, serious. So then I had to go to the bank, which me and him used the same banker and everything, and it was cool. And so I go there and I tell him the story about buying it at a dragster at the bar last night. And he pretty much said, do you realize you only got like $200 in your checkbook? And I said, well, I'll figure out how to make it work. Let's get the check to Ken. And so then me and my wife traded duties driving that for, I don't know, I think we owned it for 5-6 years. And we probably raced it maybe 50-60 times. And then we just switch off.
Okay. And this is in Minnesota?
In Minnesota, yep.
Cool. All right.
So that pretty much set the bar. So we got to have something now.
That's awesome. And you got her involved. So
yep.
Yeah. Instant ruin. That's like a chess, not checkers move right there. Good.
That's how I get a lot of free passes now.
Good on you. See, I got to bring mine with me and go do dragon drives with her, which is an awesome thing because I don't need to hang out with my stinky and ugly and smelly friends. I can hang out with my beautiful now wife, and
I've had my wife as my co-pilot for a handful of events.
Hell yeah. It's a good thing. It's a fun time as long as you don't fight too much. A little bit of fighting. Sometimes it happens. Yep. Shawn, same question. Obviously now, we figured out your old man's like a Top Fuel like legend, but what got you into cars? What got you moving?
What's funny is I grew up, my granddad, obviously, he raced, professionally back in the day. And just growing up in high school, being yeah, you had Smokers Alley, you had Cowboy Corner, and then you had the Hot Rodders, and I'll tell you, I I went to high school for 1 year at West Albany High in Oregon, and that's kind of where I kind of got, my feet wet with, as a teenager, in cars. And this fella, Mike Stepina, um, Oldsmobile guy of all people, imagine that, Darce Laws, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that's why you and Darce are
Yeah,
friends. Who knew?
yeah. So it was funny. He got a Cutlass and 455, and we were in the hallway, and he was rattling off cam numbers and shit, and I had no clue.
Right.
Like, I had no clue.
Just
And then after school, we ended up. He's like, "I'll give you a ride," and we went and took a ride, and I was just blown away, whatever. And then shortly after that, kind of got into the whole hot rod gang, the greasers, right? And a friend of mine, uh, he became a friend in high school, but he had a red '63 Chevy 2 Nova, and
okay.
it was cool. It was cool. It was slammed, blacked out windows, had rallies on it, had a power glide, like a 3500 converter, 327, probably a Duntoff 3030 cam in it.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but we'd cruise the strip and shit, and
Which
then
was $49 back in the day, by the way. That
oh,
cam.
dude, it was so bitching, dude. It was so cool. Well, I've always said this, kids, people in general, men and women have cars because they're inspired by something. And as my son gets older, he's 26 years old. And, I ask him why he likes this car, or he likes this car and this car. Well, something throughout your life has inspired you to, like, you didn't know it at the time, but when you were younger, or maybe you looked up to somebody or whatever it was,
Right.
they inspired you. And, fortunate enough, it was, cars with me. You see these people and they were friends, and you got into these groups of folks and whatever, and they had these cars. Well, like myself, I've always loved box Novas, Chevy 2s. It's horrible to say
Yeah.
box Nova because they're Chevy 2s, but anyhow,
Right.
and always been a wagon fan. I have a '63 two-door coupe, little black Nova, 5-speed car, small block. It's a pretty bitchin' little car.
Cool.
But my son, his little red Nova, which he took it on Big Sky last year and won Pro Street in it. So I bought that car. Oh shit! It had been probably 10 years ago, out of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I had it. It was a 327 4-speed car. It was a true SS, and really clean little car. Well, I told him, I said, you graduate high school and, you get on a roll, da, 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 this is going to be your graduation present. And sure shit, he did. And God, what an animal did we create, right? Like, holy shit.
Well, and
Oh, God.
now he made you into a grandpa, so he's got his boy Brad.
So, the
And-
ultimate thing, the car thing, I was surrounded by it with my pops. But the inspirational side was when I was in high school, and man, we could talk for hours on this stuff. I mean, we all have stories of this and that, but I really got into that. And then I made my first pass down a drag strip. I was in my 71 Chevelle.
Oh, badass.
It was 454 car. And I believe Darce was there when we were in Douglas. When I went down the strip the very first time, I was like, God, I couldn't have been. I was probably 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 18. Obviously we street raced, obviously, but
Yeah.
actually going to a drag strip, because listen, Douglas, I'd been to Douglas a bunch with my grandpa and knew Kunkel, and we'd been down there and stuff, but actually making a pass, having the funds, the resources to actually do it. I didn't have anything that was worth a shit until, I got a little bit older, and it still even wasn't even that fast. It went 13s, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
at the time was really fast.
That
but
was my first
now-
time I went down. Yeah, I mean it's mediocre. I mean, like Darce, like back in the day, Darcy had I call him Darcy, he hates that, but
Oh yeah,
Darce had Darce had a that little Chevy Love back in the day, and it ran 11s, you
right.
know, like that was back mid 90s, man. That was
Oh yeah,
fast, bro.
yeah. That was especially for
And
something you can drive there.
yeah, you know, and so I don't know the car thing. God, dude, I've
It
always
just
been into
happened.
cars and motorcycles.
Hell
Like,
yeah, I love it.
yeah, like even when I was a kid, like even a little kid, like Jay was into BMX bikes, right? Like growing up. And I don't know, you're surrounded by this shit, man. I was putting together models and stuff, you know,
Right.
and just you didn't realize that you were so into it, right? Like tearing apart your sister's BMX bike, right? Like you didn't know
Yeah.
you're into that stuff.
But you
Um,
were and you're yeah. I mean, I was
and then you get
cussing
older
using
and you
SAE wrenches, and I was like, why can't this just be 12 or 13 or 14? Why do I got to know fractions? This is some
yeah,
bullshit. Same exact thing, taking apart my bike.
yeah,
That
yeah.
Jason, what's the first car you took down a drag strip?
Um,
That's a good one.
that is a good question. I almost wonder. I I would almost think about that Corvette. Maybe that Corvette, but I bought a 67 Nova post car. It was a known street racer. So kind of somewhere in that era. So I was trying to decide which one it might have been. So, but yeah,
We
a
need
known street
makeup over
racer.
here for Shawn real quick. Hold on. We need makeup.
No,
He's-
dude, it's 98 degrees, bro.
I'm sorry.
I turned the AC
You like that?
on, it's
98
65 in the
degrees,
house
bro.
just this minute.
I'm hot
So-
now, and I'm not
so
talking
there was
about
a
the
known-
temperature.
A known street racer around our area back there, Mankato area, had this Nova, and I learned a bunch from him too. So he had this stuff called Race Max. I don't know if people are old enough to remember that. Some people might be, but it came in a little quart metal can. Well, come to find out later in life, it was nitromethane.
Okay.
And so when I bought this thing, he was mixing this tetraethyl lead and this Race Max, and you put on your rubber apron and rubber gloves, and you had to have your face shield on because he's like, this stuff will kill you. And so already back then, and then I bought that car, and he gave me some of the mix. It came in a mason jar, tetraethyl lead, like maroon stuff in a jar, and don't touch this, you'll get cancer the next day. And so I'm mixing this, and it made the car feel a lot seat of the pants faster. And then you get to the point where you're like, well, one is good, so why he told me not to do two.
Not there. Yeah.
Yes, but I figured I'd try it for myself because what does he know? Well, that's my first set of bent rods. So I remember that first.
Nice. Hell
Knocked the
yes.
piston out of him, bent the rod. So anyways, that stuff worked really good.
Hell yeah. We just need to find some more of that here moving forward.
I've looked
How many
for it
people?
back long.
How many people we got on this watching?
19 currently.
19, all 19.
Jesus
Perfect.
Christ! Come on, guys, let's get it on.
This will get about 500. Whatever. It's a Tuesday night. You and I and Zach can be the only people, and my wife will watch, and whatever. It's going to be. Oh yeah, here's driver Pete sharing now. It's all good. I don't
I'm
care.
just fucking with you.
It is what it
No,
is.
I don't
We're
care.
having fun. But dude,
So
Big Sky.
Big Sky.
Talk about freaking Big Sky with olive oil. You're semi new to you.
I'm gonna
Now
top rock.
green, now vinyl top. First Gen Camaro.
So first of all, I got the best co-pilot that let me back up. My son was grade A co-pilot, right? But Tyler entered into the drag and drive world, and he's got his own little thing going. And Colton, his brother-in-law, and Colton also works for us, as well. He's an employee as well, and a friend. he's Tyler's co-pilot. So
Tyler
here,
says, yeah, you better back up.
yeah. So no, for real. Like when we went to, so listen, back up before we start on Big Sky. When we went to in 21 that we went to Sick Week? I think. Yeah.
With the
Was that the first year, Jay?
yeah, with the Suburban, I believe that's right.
22 was the first year we went. Yeah, 22, right?
No. The first year of Sick Week was 21, right?
Yeah. Yep.
No, that's 22 because we took the
would be-
Burb
yeah.
the second year. Okay, so the first year when we went, we got the 55 done,
Okay.
and yeah, that was the first year, 21, and Tyler helped me with the car. I mean, he pretty much knew pretty much everything about the car except for the valve train. I babysat that. That was my deal because I recreated that valve train and that Hemi to pressure oil it. Well, anyways, he was gangster.
Hemi.
Like that kid didn't complain. I mean, he did his job. He was gangster. He was literally like the best co-pilot that a guy could have ever asked for, right?
And it's your boy, which is
yeah, and he was my son, so the proud level was super high.
right.
Well, after doing that event, I soon realized that Tyler's wanting to do it himself. Like he wanted to take his car and he wanted to do this, and I'm like, shit, man. And it was really weird. This is what's really odd is we were down there for 22. No, it was 23, Jay. Remember when I called you? Remember when what's his name with a Ranchero? What's his name? Troy?
Troy.
Yeah,
Clark.
Troy Clark.
Yeah, when Troy ended up being your co-pilot. Well, anyways, like I don't even understand. Like to be straight up with you, I don't even know how me and Jay kind of really got. I don't know if it was like a rock paper scissors. Like, all right, bro, let's do it. I think there was a lot of hesitation on both sides. Just knowing because we know how hard it is, especially in one of those bigger cars.
Right.
Understanding the duties, and there just can't be no screwing around. And so, and it just, we went to Big Sky. I think last year when we went to Big Sky in the 55, you co-piloted, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then we went to Sick Week in this last year, and I co-piloted for him. And then he co-piloted. So we've got this pack, like we've got this agreement.
And I think, like you said, you kind of
we got this agreement
at
that
level, that
I do an event, he does an event. So we're going to alternate cars.
cool.
And I told him that he can't have any other co-pilots, and I can't have any other co-pilots because we're kind of married in that
Right.
fashion.
It was a little bit mushy and weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, Jay, you're hurting my feelings. I'm your co-pilot. You can't have nobody else.
Was
And
it
you're
at
my
Waffle
co-pilot too, bro.
It was over a breakfast sandwich, and
Yeah, it was on.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Waffle
kinda
House.
It's at the
Yep.
Waffle House.
It was
at the
totally
Waffle
at the
I was
Waffle
eating
House.
grits.
Yep. Yeah, and you were like, "You're my dude from here forward."
It looked like
Yeah.
I wasn't paying it. It looked like I wasn't paying attention, but I was learning how to get on the live chat so I could smart back off to Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since he said
You're out, I'm in, bitch.
That's how it rolls.
But
So
No,
it
big-
was your time. Jason was just at sick Week with
Yep.
with his Nova, and so
Yep.
it's your turn. You're gonna bring out the Camaro, and Jay's
Yep.
gonna ride shotgun.
yeah.
So
And we had a strategy.
oh,
Like
That's usually
I'm
how it starts.
I want to kick myself in the, like we go on this as a team, like, and like literally we're a team. So if we pick a number, we're going to stick with the number, right? If we're going to turn in a number, we're going to turn in a number,
okay.
and no bitching, no complaining, no nothing. Like at the end of the day, we're a team. And Jay, I know Jay feels the same way I do. But day 2, we made this. We would have won that son of a bitch and took fucking whatever pony boy out. Anyhow, listen,
Mustang, Sally.
we screwed up day 2. We screwed up. We turned in a 559
Right.
on day 2. And we were happy because in the past, Malta has been it's not been a great track.
Right.
Okay. And we were happy. And mind you, we were the only one in the class on a radial. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That
radio 275.
Yeah, that we're hauling ass.
Okay.
Yeah, 275s.
And
so
for folks that don't know, Big Sky Race Week, it's all 4 racetracks that exist in Montana. They're like outlaw tracks. Like they don't have any affiliation with most of them with any like NHRA, anything like that. It's tiny, 8th mile, gangster.
Yeah, it's no knock on them. It's just
No, exactly. Exactly.
No,
you don't have a
not a knock on them at all. It's just it's a tiny itty bitty track. Like so, Malta 2 years in a row now. Their car count, like whatever limit or whatever, not limit. What the hell am I trying to say? Record was broken 2 years in a row now on Big Sky Race Week with 120 and 130 cars. So that'll give you an idea. They're just not used to that amount of cars that run that quick on a tiny tire. So it's not a knock on them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
The drag and drive is so sweet. But so anyway.
Yeah. So and I was going to get to that because
so
we underestimated the track, right? And those guys at that track were bitching. Like they were on point. Yeah. Okay. They straight up on point. Well, me and Jay, we get to the track, we got our shit together, we get our shit unpacked, cars set up, we're ready to go. We're one of the first in line, right? To get our shit. We're going to be one and done, get on the road. We got a long haul to Lewiston the next day.
Right.
So we go there, and knowing that Royce last year, what did Royce run there last year? 5.0 or something like that on a big tire.
Something like
right?
that. Yeah.
I think he was on
and
one.
So we're thinking, yeah. And so we're thinking, all right, we make this deal. We're like 550s and faster. We're going to turn it in. We're going to be good at it. We're going to get on the road. And so we go up, we look at the track, and we're like, whew, it's really narrow groove, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And, it's not radial prep, and so we're like, okay. So I turn it down. We got a good baseline for it. And we go out, make a lick, go 559. We come back, and I'm like, oh, I was waiting for it to knock the tire off, and it didn't. So we go down, get a 559, come back, and I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, well, we agreed 559. Let's turn it in. I'm like, all right, turn it in. Well, we waited around. Well, guess what? The track got better.
Right.
And by that time, I had already turned it in, and Royce had gone a 46 or something like that that day. And I was like, you son of a bitch, I guarantee you we could have won a 40 there.
Right.
I guarantee either a 40, 43, 42, something like that. And I have tune-ups for that, right?
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, well, we go into Lewiston. What did we run? A 43 in Lewiston, Jay?
2 or 3?
2 or 3, yep.
Yeah. 42 or 3. Now, mind you, we got a 35 cap, so we can't go faster than 35, right? So we're sneaking up on this, right? And so we get our pass. We're super stoked. Well, I knew that going into day 4 when we got to Anaconda that it was game day because that track sucked. All right. Last year it sucked. It's just a small track. The service was shitty. Well, this year it was fresh.
Brand new,
no rubber.
The day before thing.
And so I go up to Royce and Jordan. I'm like, tomorrow's game day. I think I told Jordan that. So I'm like, game day. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, tomorrow's game day. And
we're about to punch you dudes in the mouth twice.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, my shit will run 570s on wastegate. You know what I mean? Like, and it will go down. And I'm like, we got this, dude. Like, I was going to be surprised if anybody, actually went in the 5s. And so I was like, dude, we got this. This is our we're going to make up our 59,
Right.
Then they call it. Right. Which, and that they listen, they made the right call.
Yes, that was totally
dude.
There wasn't very much timing on the track at the moment. I think they were like,
they were grinding to put the fucking tower in, dude.
Right. It's just
whatever.
But you guys lost a day of racing that you needed bad.
That happens. That's the
and so
but no one else got to race either.
Yeah,
we should have done a better job the day before.
No one raced.
Yeah,
and to give you guys an idea about Malta, again, they're not whatever, dude. No knock on them, but a lot of their track prep is them dragging around a trailer tire or a tractor tire,
right?
With weights on it. Like it's got like cinder blocks on the top on a bar.
Oh, it's backwoods.
It's just and putting a 4-second car on a track prep, but with the side of a tractor tire is a different thing.
Oh, it's war in the wood shit.
So
it's still cool.
Super cool. Super duper cool.
Super cool. Yeah.
And so this is 2 years in a row, and it's been an event for 2 years, and you guys have both done it now for 2 years. And what, Jason, if you can tell us,
we did it in Shawn's got a 55. A really
okay.
55.
Like streetcar 55, not the Hemi 55, right?
Streetcar 55.
Yeah,
but it's twin turbo.
The brown car.
Deal.
Okay. Yep.
But it's so luxury. It weighs, I can't remember what it weighs, 4,000 something.
Hell yeah.
4280, I think.
And we never even changed the tires or nothing. I think we averaged around a 6-second 8th mile for the week.
That's awesome.
We got CarPlay and air conditioning and radios jamming. And we never changed the tires.
Control.
We never took the valve cover
right.
off.
So like the easiest co-pilot job you ever had ever.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Kept
it was
the cold
boring.
snacks cold for when we stopped, and that's about my job for that car.
Right. Would you prefer boring and slow over fast and inconvenient? What do you guys think?
It was my first time ever having I don't want to say boring because it's still
fast. It's still a mean car, but like drama free. Do you guys like the drama?
It was a great change of pace.
Okay.
I was thinking about it today, driving down the road, kind of this drag and drive thing is like, you can kind of compare it, drag and drive for me is to having like what I would imagine to have the crazy hot girlfriend that has 6 personalities.
Right.
One day you're walking down the beach holding hands and in the most love you could ever be. And the next day she's got a baseball bat beating your windows out and puncturing your tears.
Calling the cops on you. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's drag and drive, I think. When you're trying to go fast or whatever.
Right.
Fast, yeah.
What do you think, Shawn? Is it which do you prefer?
I like going what's the most political way to say this? I like to be organized. I like to have my shit together, and I like to haul ass.
Okay.
Okay. Do I enjoy? If I would have known the rules this year, knowing that the radio class at Big Sky, we could have went as fast as we wanted and not been capped at 535, not knowing, we definitely would have went to the other class or the unlimited class. Cause this is the deal. The Graham, he only went 534.
Right.
Right.
And he won overall. Jake Klein, sweet, nasty.
Super good
truck.
dude. That kid.
That's a good dude.
Yeah. Him and his dad, gangster. They are
blower,
cool people.
Gen 3 Hemi.
Guys.
Yeah. That the truck is cool, but I mean, you're right. That thing was on kill. I think it probably had everything it had.
And I was thinking, and me and Jet. Yeah. And I was literally, when we were putting tune-ups into the car, we can't go faster than 535. And then in day 5, we went a 539.
Right.
And then I just squeaked a little more. And I'm like, I told Jay, I'm like, it's either 35 or 36. If it goes down, it's going to be 30. And then it rained. The rain hit us at like 300 feet that last pass.
Done. Instant. They were like,
and it was done. It knocked the tire off at like 400 feet, and it was raining on me going down the track. And it kicked the tire, and I'm like, shit. Well, we still wouldn't have got the average. But knowing that, I probably, if we next year we're taking one of Jay, we're gonna take Cowboy Up next year to Big Sky.
Okay.
Not Cowboy Up. Reride. We're taking Reride.
We're taking Reride. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
we're taking Reride.
A big tire car and go for overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take Reride it, and I think next year, Jay, we'll put it in either the Outlaw or the Radio class, and not do that Pro Street. And
right.
I mean, yeah,
we don't want to cap.
No, we don't. That's what we ran into on Olive Oil, was because we were basically index racing,
right?
You know,
right?
And
we don't.
I've never index raced in that car. I mean, yeah, I mean, we're used to going like, let's send it,
right,
you know?
Exactly. And now you're like,
let's see what it's gonna get, buddy.
Right, exactly. And so we ran into the same thing on a much slower level. But Stevie had her index covered like crazy at Mega Week, and slowing the car down is a harder thing than you think. Like, making it go faster is, especially in a car that you have tune-ups that can make it go faster, is not that difficult of a deal. Slowing a car down is a tough thing to do. Like, making split-second decisions to try to figure out a hundredth or two that's a tough deal.
And we've ran that car plenty to have tune-ups on it. So I did have a good, I think Jay would agree with this. I had a lot of tune-ups, and I'm like, I could pretty much tell you, I was like, this is going to be like a 540, 543, 545. And we'd put it in, and it was running within a couple hundredths of what I thought.
Yep.
What's that? What do you?
Darce said that
trying to start off the Darce. He is a bracket racer,
the wagon index racing
bracket racer,
and then Jason called him Drace.
I tried to erase it and I pushed the button.
I still like
Darce.
It
Don't
Drace.
I
Darce
don't fuck around. He's got that drive by wire figured out, bro.
Oh yeah. Yep. The wagon.
Like, he's no joke.
Yep. They call it the pussy wagon.
Ooh.
In case you're wondering.
Cats in that thing. Nice.
It is the P-dub, if you know what I'm saying.
Jay's got a wagon. It's in hiding.
It's getting close to coming out and going and doing something. We got to race that somewhere.
What flavor of wagon,
dude?
Since you guys are Nova dudes, what do you?
It's a 1985 Buick Electra. Let's see, I'm missing one.
Bad ass, dude.
Electra estate wagon.
I love it.
And I put all aluminum LS3 BTR stage 4 cam deal, and then we got the spray nitrous, the dry nitrous up front on the throttle body opening.
Hell yes.
And that car has 50,000 original miles on it. Blue velvet. Look at, I get excited about this thing. Crushed velvet interior.
Hell yeah.
It's one. I can't remember the number. Like, they made 6,000 wagons that year, because I think it was the last year of the estate wagon.
Okay.
And this thing is only like 30, one of 30, because it's wood grain delete.
Oh, no.
It's a solid color on the outside. Blue, came with factory tinted windows. It has the rumple seats pointed out the back.
Hell yeah.
That's where we got the nitrous bottle.
Gonna ride.
So we can only have one person in the rumple, because the nitrous bottle fills the floor on the other side. And
how
fast is this thing?
Well,
so listen, before you go any further, Jay named my car, right? We were thinking, God, we got to name this car. And he come up with Olive Oil from Popeye. But Jay, I'm naming your car. I'm naming the WAG.
Yeah, because right now we call it Bert, because
we're naming it Griswold.
Chevrolet.
That's Griswold. Yeah.
Pretty good.
The family truckster. I can't wait. How fast is this thing?
I don't know how fast it'll be. Let's say, I'm going to say like whatever 750 horse will do. So it's a cruiser. It's got a $10,000 turbo 400 with a trans brake and a gear set in it, and it has a gear benders in it. It has a
hell yes.
One of those Buick Grand National. I had Mosier build me a Buick Grand National rear end for it, but they weren't 100% exactly the same, so we had to build uppers and box the lowers, and we got airbags on the right hand side, and the whole normal.
It's gonna be
drag and drive deal.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. Hell yes.
That's the plan.
Shawn, when are we seeing that bullshit out?
So we were gonna go. We had a plan of going through that this last winter. We were gonna. So when I did that wheelie, that was God. What was that? 2013.
Something like
Jesus
that.
Christ. It bent the front frame horns on it, and it ripped the shock towers out of it. And I mean, it was carnage, right? It still has a smashed oil pan on it, right? So we did a couple things. We went to Street Outlaws with it when they came to town here, and we raced that the fastest in America deal or whatever it was they were doing. And hey, the car hauled ass. It still worked. We won a race, whatever. But listen, that thing's old technology. And if Darce is watching this, he knows that too. I mean, everybody knows it's old iron. It's got fast as XFI 2.0.
Right.
It's got a Bruno Jeffco in it. I mean,
no kidding. Nice.
I mean, it's just old. It's an Alston chassis. It's heavy. Dude, it is so antiquated. It's cool. It's still a 7-second street car, but as times have changed, it is just I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, I cannot believe how things have evolved, Right.
Things are fast now.
The ultimate goal is I was talking to the guys, just a couple days about it, is front half in it and make it more street car quality, get rid of all the old, early 2000, pod gauges off the steering column, put the factory down, all the bullshit in it, put carpet in it. I want to put twins on it. I want to strut the front end, put it on a radial, just redo some things on it, simplify it, update the ECU, just make it more. It is. Yeah. Is it a street car? This is what's crazy. If today's standard, no, it's not. That's a freaking old. It's an old bracket car, I mean, it's not. I mean, yeah, sure, we drove it and did, we finished and whatever, but Jesus, my God, there was nights that we only slept 2 hours, because it was hell, and it's weird coming from that and then riding in the Camaro or the 55, the brown car, or even Jay's Nova, reride.
Nova is a cruiser.
Dude, that's a sweetheart, bro. It's just, you kind of get spoiled when you've actually, I guess, gone through the trenches, and then you get into something that is reliable, and you got your program, and you fire it up, and you go down the road, and it's fun. You can have a good time and enjoy and not worry the whole time. And
30-40 minute turnovers and you're not even in a hurry.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
you're ready to go.
It was just
nice.
It's fun, and so. I ultimately,
and it's still quick enough, like you're at the top of classes that you're in. Like you're not in the conversation for overall, but you're sure as hell in the podium of anything.
Yeah.
With this car, I mean that's a bad ride.
Yeah, that's a fast car. Yep. 177 miles an hour, I think.
Yeah, that's a mean car at any weight. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, and it's like. We leave on 5 pounds of boost with that thing and just drive away with just a 45-degree ramp, just a slopey ramp in there because we want to make it live and not wring its neck, and that makes it fun.
Jason, when are we going to see the Cowboy Up car out?
Ooh, low key, I'm going to try to test it. So. The maroon car has a couple little quirks that I just don't like. Like, I don't feel like it's just refined. Like, that green car is so refined right now, his Camaro in the background. I want it So I got to tell you one quick story. At the end of sick week this year, we high-fived and Shawn said, "So what do you think?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm actually kind of pissed at you." And he's like, dumbfounded. "Why is that? We just did good and we had fun." And I'm like, "You have totally ruined my dragging driving because
Right.
I will only accept like that green car.
A certain level of luxury.
Yeah, it has to
now.
run flawless. You got to reach in and just be able to push the button and it starts and runs. Don't turn
Right.
over that many times.
And you're getting older. You're not a young man anymore. I mean,
Yep.
you got to be able to both go quick and not have your back kill you.
So then
At
I
the
told
end of
him,
it.
"You have ruined me." And he was like dumbfounded. And I said, "Because I won't accept anything less now." And that's the way the maroon car, that's why I'm being so nitpicky. Most people be like, "Hey, it's awesome. It's
Right.
it's rowdy. So you got to accept some chugging and things." And I don't want to. I just
Okay.
want super refined. And so we're
I-
a week or two, we're doing a
yeah.
track rental at Billings at Yellowstone Dragway.
Yeah, that's the Wild West Drag Fest.
Yeah, on the 24th or something, we're doing the day before, we're doing a track rental.
Cool.
We're going to try to sneak it in there a little bit and I think refine, knock the top off and it'll be perfect.
Cool.
Once that's done, put the maroon car away and then heads down, work on the orange car. I have some things, Shawn, I got to bring to Prodigy Motorsports and have just a little bit of fine tuning, just some things fitted up.
Cool.
And then it'll be ready to go test, but I want to keep it on the down low because I just need to have that one play out the way I want it in my mind before I put it on anything.
I understand.
I don't need a storm with the washing the road out ahead of me again.
I understand. I've seen that. It has happened.
Yeah.
Quick shout out,
Next.
Yellowstone Drag Strip, Wild West Drag Fest. Yours truly will be helping out with Stevie Wong as well on the microphone of that. So
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
We're going to that. Yeah.
I'll be up there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hell of a good show. And if you guys don't know Stevie Wong out of the Division 6 area, they fly him in from Washington State because he is kick ass every race at Yellowstone. So yeah,
Cool.
it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna put on a hell of a show. I gotta know whose idea was it to buy this piece of shit,
Jason's.
and then B, whose idea was it to drive it home?
Mine.
So
Jason's.
so Jason was like, "Hey Shawn, I got a great idea. I just found this for sale. Let's take a road trip."
No. Well, what started is he started talking about big block horsepower things and different things. And I said,
And then Jay decided he needed the truck.
Yeah. And then
Jay decided he needed the truck. So we buy plane tickets. He sends me the link. I look at it. We converse over it. Jay decides he needs the truck. We get the truck and we fly out with a suitcase and a fucking laptop and the adventure begins. Okay.
So where did you pick this thing up at? North Carolina?
North Carolina.
We pick it up in South Carolina. We flew into Charlotte and we're both scratching our fucking heads when we get there.
Right.
We're like, what in the fuck?
Right.
Like,
and it's done sick week and sick summer, I think, at this point. So it's got some road miles, but like, man, when Derek with Vice Grip was driving it, I was trying to help him with some of the wiring and stuff like that. Like it has one of those fancy ass wiring boards in it.
yeah, it's got a leash.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
It's not a leash. Is it
It is a
Yeah.
lease pro street board. Yep.
Street leash, yeah.
Yeah, so
And-
we were messing with that because it didn't have any taillights and some other bullshit. It was
Well, we figured that out in an O'Reilly's parking lot waiting on a MagnaFuel 750 pump. Remember that,
Right.
Jay?
Yeah.
It's kind of a quick build car, or truck or whatever. You know, it was a shop truck, so it wasn't ever really intended to do what it even had done. And then you guys are going to drive it to Wyoming from.
So
South
long story
Carolina.
short,
It was wild because I sent you a little teeny video of us driving it out of this guy's garage shed. We thought we had an Uber drop us off, and this is like 5 o'clock in the morning because this dude's got to go to work, and we're a pinch early because we're all excited. We don't want to be late.
Right.
And then we get dropped off in the backwoods. This lady, our Uber driver, was like, "This is crazy. You guys are doing what?" Because we get dropped off on this little skinny single track road, and we pull into somebody's and we're looking around, and it's starting to mist and rain, and we're looking around, and we can't see any hot rod stuff. Or it's like, well, did we just get dropped off at the wrong address?
Right. Are we about to get robbed here?
Here it's down another back little trail down in, and there's another little garage down in the woods. So I don't know if that turned out, but I sent you a little. We looked at it in the dark because he had to have a generator to run the lights in the little shed that we were in. So we got like a little bit of look and then shut that down here.
it was straight up like,
come on, man, be nice.
Okay. It was south. like deep, like bro, deep, like bad enough that the Uber driver, listen, it was sketchy enough. The Uber driver was like, she basically kicked us out of the car.
Yeah, because we kind of wanted to linger.
And listen, she was a sweetheart of a gal. She had lost 300 pounds and told us the whole story.
Oh,
and like
her.
It was no joke. She's like, all right, so we'll see you later. Like, this is like sketchy. Okay.
Yeah. I'll arm wrestle a mountain lion, but you guys got to get out.
Right.
And hey, it was raining. We're standing in the rain. It was straight up out of a love story freaking saga, right? Like it is like it's dusk. We're holding our suitcases and it's raining.
Right.
In the middle of this like dense, like it was crazy, dude. And so
I do have this video. Check this out. This is gonna be good.
In our
That's perfect.
So listen, we get it, and we're like, we just need to get the F out of here.
Right. Right.
So we hop in the truck, and it's raining. We have no taillights. We don't even know if we have headlights. We don't have wipers. And get this, our dumbasses, we have suitcases, spare set of wheels, some brand new 275s, not a tool one, not one tool. I don't even have a Leatherman because you can't fly down there with it, right?
No knife, no nothing.
We have nothing. All right. We got phone chargers and we don't even have a phone. We don't have a 12-volt outlet in the truck, right?
You know what I put in for our first destination?
Waffle House.
Waffle House. Attaboy.
We had to wait for Harbor Freight to open.
Right. We got to get food and then.
So we literally asked the kid.
Idiots we are right here.
So the gas gauge didn't work, right?
Okay.
And so we asked the kid, we're like, hey, how much gas is it? And he's like, it should have enough. I filled it up. I only drove it one time. I took it to Cars and Coffee. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Listen, it was raining like cats and dogs right when we pull out. No taillights. We pull out. We drive 100 miles to the nearest. I'm not shitting you. 100 miles to the nearest.
Right, and we went left, and it was 100 miles to the gas station. We should have backtracked the wrong way. We made it.
So we pull in. We're, so how did that? I drove it for a little bit, and then Jade hopped in and drove it, and I ended up tuning on it. I got it, and I left what did I leave the headlights on or something?
Yeah.
No, I left the headlights on when we pulled into Waffle House. And so we're sitting there eating our waffles. We go out to start it and it barely starts. And then we pull over to right across the street was the goddamn Harbor Freight, and it wouldn't start. We parked over to the side and it wouldn't start again.
Oh no.
And they had
Dude.
no outlets on the outside of the building. So we had to have some parking lot help push the thing uphill to the front sliding doors. And then he went in and bought 200 feet of cord and ran it from inside the manager's office out the door through the sliding doors. We had to shut the doors off so it wasn't smashing our cord.
God.
And luckily the truck came with the charger.
Yeah, it came with the
It was in a
16-volt charger.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Kick ass.
Yeah, it was 16 volt too, so we couldn't just go buy a battery.
Right.
So we go in and get our shopping list. You know, we get our whole hobo freight stuff, and we hit the road, and we make it to. Listen, it was stop and go traffic, all them washed out bridges going through Kentucky and stuff. And
Right.
we were gonna go. Remember, we were gonna go to Derek's, Vice Grip Garage, Derek's. We were gonna swing into Derek's, and it was like an hour out of our way.
And we were gonna
And
get there after dark.
yeah, we're gonna
to
get there
Nashville.
late, yeah. So we ended up making it to Nashville. We're going down the road during. I mean, it was literally 5 o'clock traffic,
Oh God.
and we're cruising down the road. Meanwhile, Jay's over there doing 70-mile-an-hour fucking burnouts with all of our shit in the back, and we come up on this traffic jam, and we're cruising like 70, right? And this traffic jam. Well, I grab a handful of brakes, and it sounds like the rear end's coming uncunted on this thing, right?
Oh no.
And Jay's like, oh shit, what's going on? And I'm like, fuck, I think it's in the brakes. So we pull over, we plan to pull out, and we pull in front of this Freightliner. Remember that dude at the gate?
Yeah.
when you went to talk to that dude?
We were in the part of town where this guy's looking at us and we're looking at him, and he slams the gate closed and runs away to the other direction.
Perfect.
Like, yeah. So we're over there. The axle flange, for the TBM brakes, the 4 axle flange bolts, it was missing one, and the other 3 were loose.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
not a brake failure or fault. The axle,
the
axle
4
the bolts
bolts.
came loose.
Oh,
Someone
right
didn't put a little drop of Loctite on there, and
nothing.
And so what happened was that caliper bracket had rotated up and
On the wheel.
basically almost sawed the wheel in half, you know. And
perfect.
so Jay made the executive decision. He's like, you know what? It's been a long, stressful day. Hey, let's go downtown and have a steak. And I'm like, all right, cool. In Nashville, bro.
Oh no.
Oh, dude.
Did you?
That is straight anarchy, dude. It was badass. It was cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys? Did you like valet it?
We got Uber.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
That makes
we
sense.
pull into this hotel, unknowing that it's like straight up from Harlem, right? Like it is the ghetto.
The
And
people at the counter warn us that if you can make it so that they can't steal your vehicle, that would be best.
Yeah.
So we
You
were
should do
thinking
that,
we should
right.
bring the steering wheel in with us.
Smart.
oh, we had luggage
got
carts
this picture
hauling
I
our
can
wheels
send you,
and
Adam.
tires and everything
Yeah, send
under
it
the
to
sun.
me for sure. It's.
Yeah,
I can't
watch
wait.
this.
I can't wait.
So we get all settled into our room. We get an Uber. We go downtown, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen. I mean, I'm sure there's some viewers and people on here that have been to Nashville, but mind you, we're from Wyoming, so
Right.
I
Things are
mean, it was
different
anarchy, dude.
out there.
Oh,
a
dude,
little bit.
it was cool. It was a lot of fun. So we stay the night. We have a steak. We go to Kid Rock's bar. Go to like I think it's 3rd or 4th floor. The building was literally moving,
Just
moving. Oh, dude,
Just-
people! It was
they're just
crazy,
partying.
dude.
That's awesome.
Partying, bro. Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
awesome. I love
Great
it.
steak.
Good party.
Yeah, it was a good party.
So this picture, the little video short snippet I sent you was, if it wasn't bolted down or needed multiple bolts to take out, we brought it with. So this is in the
Yeah, it was-
elevator. You couldn't get any more stuff.
Hey, boys.
I love it.
Yeah.
Running low already.
I got a rattler here too.
Son of a.
So
Let's see here. Hold on. Here's this video. This is great. I got to see a little snippet on the way. But I mean, no kidding. Like you said, if it wasn't bolted on it,
It's full in here. Fog it up.
yeah, we
I
made it
love
tough
it.
for him.
That's freaking awesome, man.
And then Shawn left him about a 200-footer set of tracks to let him know when we left.
Hell
Early
yes.
morning hotel tracks.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
But so you guys got that crap home, and now you own it, and apparently you've done some stuff to make that even cooler now too.
It's
Yeah,
got a
complete.
makeover.
Yeah, I got a makeover. Yeah. It there was a lot of cool parts on that truck, and like you said, it was a quick build, and ended up going through the entire chassis and basically stripping the entire truck and redoing the entire truck. We put a gear vendor in it
Cool.
and just redid the whole, just cleaned it up and made it nice. Still got the patina on the outside, and did all 3.5-inch all aluminum exhaust on it all the way out the back, and redid all that stuff. Just tidied up, put a tonneau cover on it, and finished off the interior. And it's a sweet little bitchin' truck,
Nice.
Eventually I think we'll probably do a drag and drive in it,
Oh, yeah.
and actually use the nitrous,
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
yeah. It's proven to be reliable. I mean, it's pretty crazy how reliable that motor is. We did nothing, and we beat on it. Did we not? I mean,
Yeah, and it
holy
has
shit.
a power glide in it too. That's funny. I was like, that was our biggest fear was power glide, because the reason we were going to go to Derek's is because we were going to put a set of gears in it.
Right.
Drop the third member out and do something different there. But truck on, roll out.
Yeah, whatever. And
Yeah,
then
I mean,
inner
we
gear
cruise-
vendors. But
it had 370s in it, and we'd cruise 70 mile an hour at 2,900, 3,000 RPM. And what were we getting, like 13 miles a gallon?
Yeah,
that's
somewhere
pretty
around there.
good.
It was pretty good. It's
Yeah, it
very
was
impressive.
Yeah, it
That's
was
pretty
crazy.
I tell the story, if you haven't looked into that engine, that ZZ 632 crate engine, it is so amazing the technology that is in there. And then when you look into it, that's like 20-year-old technology, pre-LS stuff.
Right.
That has a 58 tooth reluctor ring up in the timing chain, and a single bar, cam sensor.
Cam
and
sensor
it
in
uses the same sensor as the LS, and then it uses a valley plate and a separate intake, just like an LS.
Right.
When you look into that, the same guy supposedly who designed the LS built that combination for pro stock stuff a long time ago.
Ron Spears.
Yeah, so he did a lot of
Yeah.
crazy stuff. Like, it's crazy how LS that big block really is.
Right.
Like all the
Right.
tricks.
It's got those splayed valve heads and stuff on it, and so that
Crazy
looks all
heads.
wacky.
Yeah, just great.
They're
It's a great
12
engine.
12.5 degree intake and 8 degree exhaust.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. That's
LS
nuts.
stuff. Yeah.
That's freaking sweet. That's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
So
Adam, what is your, so back up.
let's do.
What are your plans with the Caddy, man?
So Caddy is pretty much where it is. We're just going to learn how to drive it now. When I say we, I mean Stevie. If you guys don't know, Stevie, my wife, drives the Cadillac. It's a pretty, stock rebuild deal that I put together. I freaking ball home that in my driveway out here. So yeah, it's a nothing, ready to go. We're just going to learn how to drive it, and it's going to be a fun car. It's a big, heavy bastard. That's a easy button car, but I got that car when I started announcing because it was supposed to be. I'm supposed to be, rested and ready to go and ready to announce and ready to do my thing. And all I've ever done is work on that car and spend money on that car. Finally, it's at a point where it's pretty reliable. But no,
it was so cool seeing you go to that event and actually drive and do it with your wife. I mean, that's just grade A. And watching her make licks, and then having the time to go up to the announcer booth and spend a little time up there and enjoy and drink some beers and and to see you actually out doing it with all of us. And I mean, it's cool, dude. I mean,
it was fun, dude. It was so much fun. And I like bringing her on my stuff, but typically at race week, I'm the only guy. So I don't have any time to go do anything. At Big Sky, I've got Stevie Wong to help me. Stevie, the announcer, Stevie, my wife. But I can get out. I can do stuff. I made a lick every day in that car.
Nice.
No kidding.
It was just an option. It was an opportunity for me to just be able to do that, and get back to that that I haven't done in some time. But no, man. I mean, we'll be back with that car. That car is what it is. I've got a stick shift 79 Malibu G body. That it's a LS.
Really?
Higher compression. It's like a 12-to-1. It should run. It's like a 750, 1150 index car kind of thing. No bar. Don't ever want to put a bar in that car. That's kind of my car. That's a cool car. It's always been my drag and drive car. And then I've got my very first car, a 1980 Monza that is at the chassis shop right now. And that's getting an 850 cage in it. And I'm going to bring it out for Rowdy Radial and 8th Mile stuff.
No kidding.
That's cool.
It's going to be a probably single or twin LS. I've got the motor for it. It's just sitting in chassis shop or chassis jail currently. But
who's doing the chassis in it?
Vince Rui, FM Fab in Nebraska.
No kidding.
Yep. So no, it's going to be a cool car. But that was my very first hot rod car.
Nice.
That's cool.
I paid my rent with that car a handful of times. That was a cool car. So I'm going to kind of build it in that same light. It was I took it to Longmont a lot and stuff like that. And I would street race people in it, but it had a single 2.5-inch exhaust back in the day. So I'm going to recreate that with some sort of a block off valve. And my buddy Bill Leake did this with his. It had a fender exit, but he had a 4-inch block off, and it would go down a 2-inch with a big ass RV muffler. And that car was so freaking quiet, but then it would run 850s with the fender exit open. So I'm going to do something like that for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, right on.
It's going to be cool. But no, so I've got a number of cars that we're working on currently, and I've got a 91 Civic all-wheel drive wagon.
I see you post that one once in a while.
Yeah, dude. It's a super rare all-wheel drive Civic that they built in the 90s. That's got all the drivetrain is all the stuff that guys have in 7-second Civics.
Did you buy it from a school teacher or something?
I bought it. I don't know who I bought that car from. To be honest,
I'm just teasing. Because that's what you would buy your wife back in the day, so she had a safe car to.
That's true.
To school.
That's true. Now, Shawn, I gotta know your 5-speed black Nova. Did you buy that out of Colorado?
I did.
I might know that car, and I might want to buy that car. My uncle might have built that car.
That was a weird. Really?
Did it have weird title problems?
What's that? You broke
Did it have
up.
weird title problems?
Did it have what's that?
Title problems?
Idle?
Title. Yeah.
No. So the fellow that I bought it from, he was going, so it was a weird story. So I find it online, get a hold of this guy, he's close, whatever. We cruised down there and he had a business opportunity, and he had the opportunity to buy into Warner Ladders. Okay.
Huh.
And it was crazy, right? So guy was super cool. It was actually, it was probably 20 minutes from Vandermeer.
Huh.
Right. It was, I guess it was just south of Vandermeer. And me and my son go down there. We go to talk to the dude, look at the car, whatever, we agree on a price. We're ready to buy it. And it was the wildest thing. We're sitting there talking. He had 2 kids and his wife, and the kids come out and just started bawling, like just crying.
Not the same.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? Like it was awkward. And Tyler was like, holy crap. At the time, I think Tyler was like 17.
Okay.
And we had parked the trailer. The truck and trailer, like, I don't know, like 2 houses up, because that's where we could fit. We're in there talking. Then the guy was very, he did a lot of work to it, and he put a lot of time into the things that he had done to the car. And he goes inside. He's like, I'll be right back. And we're ready to make the deal.
Right.
The guy comes out and he's like, I don't think I can sell a car. And I'm like, what? I just drove all the way down here.
Right.
And, and it was kind of a weird situation. We ended up, we bought the car. The kids were bawling. It was the craziest thing. It was out of a movie. And the kids were crying. And I told my son, I said, back the truck up. Let's pull the car on the trailer. And I said, we're going to hit the e-brake, and we're going to put it in gear, and we're going to tie it down up the road. Like,
Right.
It was weird because they were standing outside like
Watching.
their dog just died.
Right.
And I felt so bad. I'm like, oh my God. So we literally did that. We pulled up like 2 blocks, pulled up around a corner, and we tied the car off and stuff. And I got back home, and about 8 months later, he had contacted me, and he says, hey, would you sell that car back? And I was like, man, I wasn't ready to sell the car. I mean, I was still enjoying,
Right.
I had wanted, when I got it, it had a Muncie in it, and we ended up putting a TKO in it, and,
Right.
or TKX, and did a little bit of other things to it, whatever. And it's a bitchin' little car. It's probably a 12.0 car,
Cool.
it's 9-inch Heights front end. It's a cool little car.
Nice.
I don't drive it hardly at all. It's been probably a year and a half since I've driven it, but it's been up in the upper shop sitting on the lift. But he calls me and he's like, hey, you want to sell that car? And I said, no, I'm not really ready. Well, he sends me like 30 different Novas to trade me. And some of them,
buy one and trade.
He was going to buy one,
buy
and then
anything
trade me.
and trade you for whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, he really wanted that car back. And hindsight, there was some pretty bitchin' cars he sent me.
Right.
The car that I got was really.
I got to tell you my Nova weird buying Nova story. When we lived in Minnesota, we went and looked at a 63 Nova in War Road, Minnesota, which is right on the border, like
Okay.
right up at the top.
I'm gonna go get some
So
ice.
we go up there.
Do it.
Yeah, we go up there. There's this hot rod Nova up there, me and my wife, and we take it on a test drive, and it's a nice car. And this guy is flogging the shit out of this thing, and it has nitrous on it, and he is flogging on it on the nitrous. And
Nice.
my wife's in the back. She had to duck under the roll bar, and she's sitting in the back, and we're just giggling. This is like, yeah, we're going to bring this baby home. So he hits her one last time on the way back to his house, and it kicks a rod out
Oh,
on the test
no.
drive. And as we ain't even coasted down and it's oil in the road and he pulls over and he's like, hey, do you guys want to buy a roller?
Yeah, son of a. Did you buy the
He
roller?
knew. I didn't buy the roller. I didn't want it as a roller.
Right.
But just funny. It was like a 9-hour drive to get there, and we test drive the thing and kick a rod out
And
of
he
it.
kicks the rod out of it. Oh, man.
That's a lifetime story. It's fun.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
While he's getting ice, tell me about the one that got away. What car did you sell you shouldn't have sold?
And this is kind of lame, but I bought a Camaro, a 5th gen Camaro before, they went through all that weird time where they were going to sell them and then they didn't sell them. And I ordered it as soon as it came out.
Right.
So I bought one of them and then I put 200 miles on it and I put it on jack stands and I yarded that thing out. Centrifugal supercharger, just everything.
Right.
Went through all the suspension and then just everything. And then along the way, just upgrades over the years, over and over and over. And I sold that to a friend back in Madison Lake. And it's kind of one of them ones, like, it was so fun to drive. And it ran like, I don't know, it printed slips all day at 11.0 all the time.
Okay.
At 133 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
So couldn't get it to leave, and I did everything, but it was a manual. Anyways, fun car to drive, big mile per hour, just sporty. I mean, you could crank off 190, 200 miles an hour if you want to, kind of thing. Big wheels on that thing. But I had it set up for autocrossing and drag racing. I had a complete set for each venue, and I sold it, and it's one of them. One of them. I got a picture hanging on the wall in the hallway of it.
Of course you do.
One that got
away. Of course you do. Shawn, what car did you sell you shouldn't have sold?
I probably never should have sold. I had a 65 Impala SS 427 car.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was a factory AC super sport. Came out of Texas, got it from a local guy here back when I was right out of high school. And no rust. 65 Impala SS. Like I said, I had a 427 in it, factory.
Yeah.
It was just a bitch. It was just a cool car, a big car, but that was one of the cars I should have never sold. I just never should have sold it. I traded it to a friend of mine and for a 65 El Camino, which I still have.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And
at least you still got it.
Yeah, I still got it. Yeah, I don't know. God, Jay, you it's funny because he asked those questions about how many cars, what cars you wish you had or any of those things. It's like
I'm getting to those. Let's just do it now.
Like
whose car would you like to take down the drag strip?
What do you think, Jay?
I'll go first. I've had the opportunity to stand behind Tom Bailey's 2.0, hundreds and hundreds, just tons and tons of passes. And so I think I would love to strap into there for me, that's like, it's up there. It's a pinnacle of
right.
dragging.
It's a 5-second car. It owns a record.
262 or 3 miles an hour.
Right.
I think that would blow all the hairs all the way back just for one and say, that's all right. I've done it. That is top for me. You can't dream of. So that's one I would love to take a trip on. I said, I think I would do a drag and drive in that. If he just gave me the reins, and I would like him to get it nice and fresh and get the spares and everything, and then say,
take
right,
it.
You can take it.
Go
you
enjoy
and Shawn
it.
Just go do your thing. That'd be cool.
Right.
So
right.
That would be sick.
Shawn, wait for that call.
That would be sick.
I would do it.
But
I guarantee
what would you like to campaign for a race, Shawn?
It's funny because me and Jay talked about this earlier. I I have a couple cars that I would do, not just one. Doug Klein's Camaro.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's a cool car.
That car,
The orange with the stripes, and he sold that
Dude.
car. It's gone. It's long gone.
Oh,
yeah, it's a long gone. But that car was cool. It had all aluminum. You know, it had those. It had custom aluminum fenders, aluminum hood.
Right.
You know, the car was bitching. You know, it was a clutch car. Had a Lenco in it. You know,
Yeah.
big block of twins. It was fast. I mean, it was 6-second car.
Right.
Yeah,
Larson chassis, and I mean,
yeah.
bad.
Larson's. I'd love to make a lick in Larson's car.
Which one?
The 67.
The Nova. Yeah.
The Nova. I'd love to make a lick in that. I'm probably with Jay. I would probably to go out and do an event in a car. I probably with Jay. I would probably do it. I'd probably pick 2.0 with him to go and do that. I really would.
Yeah.
And I think we would do good in it. I really do.
You would do really good.
And that's, I really do think, me and Jay think so much the same when it comes to what we're doing. It's almost kind of frightening how like we don't argue.
Similar you guys are, and you just make it work, and
we make it work. If he's thirsty, I get him a drink. If I'm hungry, he gets me a hot dog. You know, it's kind of one of those things. It's weird. It's actually at the end of the day, it's just normal. You know, there's no like, well, you didn't do your job or, you know, you were slacking on this and that. You know, we both bust our ass and we get our job done, and we have an ultimate goal. We want to finish.
Hell yeah.
We want to finish the race, and then we also want to go fast. But we also, I think we're both very conservative in a way that we know that, hey, we're not out here to just wring its neck and blow it up. You know, day 2, we know that we've got the game of attrition.
I save that for the orange car.
Right. Right.
How many sets of rods, Jay?
Oh my God, I don't know. I think I bent 29 rods in the last couple of years.
Holy cow!
I got a wall. I got boxes of them, and I got a few of the really curvy ones. They're hanging on the wall. The pistons that hit the crank bob weights, I hang those rods on the wall.
Hell yeah!
Because they're impressive. You can see them from across the shop. That just a reminder. Stop doing that.
I think
more up arrow.
I think I'm with Jay on that though. I think we could rock and roll, you know.
I like it. I'd
I wouldn't
love to see you guys do it. Who would drive?
I wouldn't want to own 2.0 though.
No, hell no.
No.
Who would drive
possible.
2.0? If you guys both want to take 2.0,
use it and abuse it, and then give it back.
Who would drive?
Yeah, who would drive?
I'm driving. He's gonna say he's driving. I'm driving.
All right.
I'd drive that sucker.
Attaboy.
Hey, I'll let Jay drive.
He's a good crew chief. He would make good decisions. So
I like
he's
it.
a better.
I would let Jay. I honestly, in that situation, and honestly, I feel I'm a better. I like being the crew guy better than being the driver guy.
No kidding.
It's just the way I really like Cowboy. Like, listen, reride that car drives on 3 wheels. Okay.
Oh God, yeah.
And
I thought about the other day. It's kind of, if you imagine that you were driving a shopping cart at 175 miles an hour.
That's that car.
So that's what we're trying to refine.
Now listen, I've driven front engine cars, right? Like that. You point and shoot, and it is the ride of your life, right? Now I can imagine what others think when they're standing behind and you're making a lick, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when I watch him drive reride, I cringe. I'm like, oh my God. And everybody that's standing behind, like, holy shit. He's up there, and I could just see him. He's up there driving that sucker,
You
man.
could
Like
knock
he
a
is.
tenth off if it went straight.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Instead, it's
Yeah, he drives 1,500 feet in a,
right.
in
Sure,
a quarter.
1,320-foot time slip. Hell yes.
I'll get it there.
Yeah, we got to fix.
Way up, you
We
just
got to
let
fix.
go of the button and it just goes straight.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
Wild West Drag Fest. You can fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah, we need to
car
fix
would
it.
you own?
This was
That's a loaded question.
my knee jerk reaction was Joe Barry's 50, the creamsicle,
Okay.
but that was just out of fun because I thought about it. And I'm like, oh, I already own the car that my dream car. I always wanted to build, the orange car, Cowboy Up. I spent 30 years dreaming and scheming to get to that point. And then I was like, oh, I like Joe's car a lot because it's very, I like the polish and primp, and so does he. But so I thought Joe's car is very refined. It's got some nostalgia, and it's just, and then I could drive Joe around when he's old. But I actually came up with the solid answer. If I could choose today, I would, and this is lame, but I would have a new ZR1 C8 as my daily. That, in the end, after me and Shawn were kind of kicking this one around a bit, and I'm like, I would take one of them new ZR1s as my daily, and I'm talking drive it in the rain.
All the time, no matter what.
So
Dirt
you have
roads,
every
who gives-
minute. I
who
don't
gives a
care.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you need to go get a bag of pot and soil, you put her in the bonnet or whatever they call that.
Yep.
On
The
that.
front, whatever because the frunk.
Yeah, the frunk.
The
So,
frunk.
anyways, kind of lame, but I was just
whatever.
thinking, like, overall, it seems really pretty quick. You could take it to make a lap and still go get groceries, and you
Hell
don't
yeah.
have to work on it, because I got cars that you work on.
You can work on all day long. Right.
Just work on them.
Hell yeah. So what about you, Shawn? Which one are you going to add to the fleet?
I don't know what. I honestly, God.
I'll make it. What about you, Adam? What are you taking on a drag and drive, no holds barred? You get to just pick and.
Oh man.
Rip it.
Okay, so driving a car is going to be Frank Romano's 55.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Stick
Yeah,
car,
Frankie's.
naturally aspirated, big block, runs in the 9s.
Can you talk that much shit though, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
No,
can.
I
You
can. Yeah,
sling.
I was in the Army, dude. I can talk some
Okay.
shit. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about me. When the camera is off, oh yeah, it happens for sure.
I have a
But
really
no,
cool-
I would drive that car, and I would own. God, who would I own? I think it would probably be something like, damn it, John Dodson's G body.
Oh, sure. That's a cool car. I have
275
really cool pictures.
tire, 7-second single turbo. That thing's still on haul. Like it's got GM exhaust manifold still for the hot side. It's that car was owned by nuns. He calls it the Holy Roller.
Nice.
A group of nuns bought that car. 4 of them bought that car together to cruise around in New York City. And then
Cool
once
story.
they all had graduated, they sold it and split whatever money was left over. And that was the original owner of that car, was 4 nuns. So
I have a really cool picture of Frank's car and Cowboy Up, both
I think
in a wheelie,
think
and his is a lot taller than mine. Mine
Hell
got like
yes.
a little
Hell yes.
wheelie, and he's got wheels up in the other lane.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me that picture. It's pretty cool.
hell yeah.
I think you remember Spiro Prapas,
Yeah, that's a cool car.
I don't.
the 69. Yeah, the 69 Camaro.
Is that the black
Okay.
one with the yellow stripes? I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that
Spiro,
car.
Yeah. But
Okay.
Something like that.
Fastest streetcar days.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, that car was so cool. And I talked to Spiro, God, this was like 2011. and he was up. I think he lived he was in Canada.
Okay.
And he had that car. I seen it on Racing Junk years ago, and I talked to him about it, and I was so close. At the time, times have changed, but
Thanks,
I
Darce.
looked at it, and I was really confident. Huh?
Oh, Darce said
What's
yes.
that?
It's black with yellow stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had it posted on Racing Junk, and I wanted that car so bad, and I just could not justify it. It was not in the budget,
Right.
But yeah, that
Nope,
thing was just bitch.
I get it. My last couple of questions, if you got questions, throw them up here in the comments. We'll get them answered. But Shawn, favorite racetrack?
Bowling Green.
All right.
Yep, Bowling Green.
I love it. They got an amusement park attached to that place. It's
that track is just they got a drift track, covered stands. I mean, it's bitchin'.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it. Jason, favorite racetrack?
I'm a big fan of Norwalk.
Okay.
I've had really good success there, and it's a neat track and cool vibe. I've been there a few times. That's a cool facility.
Hell yeah.
I don't think I've been to the Bowling Green.
Oh, it's good, dude.
So
It's super good. Check it out at some point.
yeah,
It floods a lot. Occasionally it floods, and it actually covers up the scoreboards. It's a little wild.
Wow.
So no joke there. Trailer or no trailer on a drag and drive?
Ooh, this has been a hot topic between me and him lately. We're trailer, but how he likes the trailer. He has shrunken. I think we own even the same model of trailers before we ever even knew each other.
Okay.
And he leaves his sit now and built an all new one because he likes to be like ultra, just minimalistic down to the. And I'm more of a trailer for mopeds, those boys. But I'm more of a. I bring so much shit.
You bring too much.
Too much. And I've tried to whittle it down. I set it all out on the floor and go through it. And then next thing you know, I still put it back in there.
Right.
And then, I don't know. I haven't needed a ton of it.
So trailer for sure, but Shawn says a little trailer.
He's got that trailer pretty worked out, and it's one of them little Doug Cook upside down ones,
Yeah, that he rolls all the time. Yeah.
He built the sway bar and end links and all of this for that little mini trailer, so that don't happen.
Attaboy.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's got in there. TRZ, big old tube thing, or I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we ended up doing an inch and a quarter big sway bar, and it was way over engineered. But jail attest when we were on Big Sky, holy shit, were we railing corners, and it was like
no worries
glass.
about the trailer being on the side coming out of the corner.
Nah, it was bitching. But trailers have their purpose. I think a small trailer like what we took this last time. Granted, we're not taking a trans and things like that, but we're also not running sixes in the quarter either. You
Right.
know. An 8th mile, I think, like I say, that's kind of a loaded question. I think if we're sending it, down the 1320 and we're trying to chase a 6-second pass, we're taking 144 cubic feet of trailer and we're throwing an extra, center section and trans and converter and everything that we can. And if we're running 8th mile stuff and we're on a radial and, I think it's just different,
Totally.
Like now, if you're like Darce, he takes a wagon, he's got a trailer built in.
Right. Except you have to unload and reload that crap every single day.
I know. He's got a trailer built in.
Yeah. Yeah. Shawn has a good one. What's your favorite single event that you've been on?
My favorite single
He's got
event.
mine answered.
Death Week.
Death Week was the funnest. Death Week is the funnest drag and drive event for me. The coolest stuff. And granted, I built the wagon just to go to Death Week.
Right.
And the wagon failed me. The rear main and an oil leak plagued me so I've had the motor out 6 times and the transmission out 10 times because I have changed the rear main on the LS with the tranny out. I have been sprayed in the face. I got oil up the walls of the shop trying to sort. Well, here it come down to was a defect in the oil pan gasket.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. And I Amazon 3 or 4 of those. So I had these full gasket kits on the shelf for LS stuff,
Right.
and mess with them a bunch. So you can steal a gasket. Well, all the oil pan gaskets in every kit were the same. So when you took one out, and you just put in another piece of shit and another piece of shit. I almost crushed it with the skid loader, the whole wagon out in the yard. My wife actually voted for it. She's like, I'll help you get it out in the yard because that's what's been its demise, why it sat for so long, because it just gave me a bad juju.
I get it.
So, but yeah, Death Week, that's a long drive, and I took a couple friends who had never gone on a drag and drive, and we flew his airplane to Phoenix and rented a car, a Challenger, and we challenged our rental car. We took the full coverage.
Oh yeah.
So that's what made that so fun.
Hell yes.
I went off the road a little bit, not on purpose, and we knocked the radiator out of it up by Sequoia National Forest. And so I can't remember. We used the case of water that was in the trunk, and then we stopped at every creek along the way and filled those and got it down off the mountain. And we bought a radiator at O'Reilly's and a jack and jack stands, because those radiators have to come out of the bottom of those cars. So we had to get this Challenger in the air high enough to
get the whole
take
radiator
the radiator out the bottom.
Yeah.
So we did that in their parking lot. So it was just a huge adventure.
I love it.
The thing was awesome.
I'd say Sick Week 2021
Okay.
for me. We had worked on the 55, the orange 55, for a couple of years, getting it put together, and we ended up running. We flew down a month prior, tested, and a lot of time I got into that car, and my goal was I wanted to run 6s, and we ended up going down early. We ended up running our 6 and flew home. We flew in, I think, it was like 3 or 4 days early, had everything ready to go, and competed. We kicked ass. We ended up winning the Ultimate Iron class.
Cool.
And ended up, we ended up getting our 6. We ran 6s at over 200 during the event and won. And that was a huge milestone for myself, because I wanted to run. That was a goal. I wanted to go 6s, And
Hell yeah.
And we did it. And on top of that, being able to do it with my son,
Right.
that was a huge deal. He was there the whole time, and it was cool. That was probably the biggest milestone for me when we did that. And my favorite event. Be just, the middle of winter, we work outside every day, just like Jay. And February rolls around and you get to go down there and it's 70 degrees and
Yeah, and you're not in Wyoming with the wind and snow and bullshit.
Yeah, it was different, but and it was great. I mean, we loved it. It was great. It was we took quite a bit of time off to do that, but we achieved the goal that we wanted, and it was cool. Made a lot of memories, got to see a lot of cool country, and and experienced a lot of things going to Don Garlett's. I think Jay's got a cool story about going to Don's.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty awesome.
yeah, and he actually got to meet Don Garlett's
Cool.
and talk to Don and
Nice.
and
On the way home, I pulled into Don's and I went to the far corner of his parking lot, and I took Cowboy Up out because it was raining when I was loading, and so we drove a while, and then I unloaded Cowboy Up to take all the water out of the block,
Okay.
coolers, and get this thing winterized. I'm going back to Wyoming.
Hey, going back to Wyoming in January or February.
Yeah. So I got the Cowboy Up out. I got it up on Pro Jacks. I'm draining fluids, and Don pulls up in his pickup, and he rolls his window down, and I thought, well, this is neat. And I walk over there, and he says, "What in the fuck are you doing in my parking lot?" And I was like, whoa. And he gets out of the truck in a huff, and then I explained to him, hey, we just did this. And it was a checkpoint there. And but anyways, he ended up hanging out the whole time. I winterized the car and asked me all the questions, and it was pretty neat.
Cool. Hell yeah.
But he
Nice.
thought I was prepping it to do, because they at the museum there, they have a little back corner where I was, and he does test hits there on private property. He owns more property out the back,
Right.
and he makes a hit in those dragsters and stuff. So I think he thought I was turning
Trying to make a hit.
over to make a hit in his
Right.
front yard
Right. Right.
on his property.
That's good. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
cool.
My last question for you. What advice do you have for newbies? Someone just getting into cars, someone just getting into drag and drive or whatever, gonna buy a freaking, YouTube giveaway car. What advice do you have for someone kind of following in your footsteps?
I guess for a newbie, I would say, and this just was going around Facebook and all of them, the Instagram and everything, and all the social media stuff, was don't let your car, and it's not that I regret this, but don't let your car evolve to the point where you can't drive it
Right.
normally. Like, get so wild. I want to say like Shawn's car, his orange car, or my orange car, and there's a bunch of them that fit into that category, that it's like, it's so wild when you take it out, it's not fun.
Fun
You
anymore.
babysit it, you can't park nowhere, you can't do nothing, and maybe some people wouldn't care, but I can't remember what the exact phrasing was, but you probably seen that on their Facebook.
Yep.
It was like this week, just don't make it so radical that it's,
A chore.
that's why I like that olive oil and reride, and not that I don't like the other ones, but they're not as practical. So somebody that's just a newbie and you're building right now, all them shops were sharing it. That's what it was. All the different build shops were saying, don't
Yep.
go beyond your means. Don't have such a big dream. Get it out, get beaten on it, and then whatever, pick at it over the years.
Right.
That would be my advice.
I like it.
my advice would be you got to finish your event. So whatever car you choose to take on the event, and Jay hit a big thing there. You built these cars, and we're chasing numbers. Okay, that's all we're chasing. We're not chasing anything other than a number or a jacket or a guitar, right? Whatever. This is the deal. You got to finish before you win, right? And
Right.
you got to have fun when you're doing it. And I can tell you, when we did the orange car and all the time that went into it, and we got our 6-second pass, and 200 miles an hour during competition, I achieved that goal. And then we stepped back and we realized, like, holy shit, this is a lot of work. Like,
Right.
some of the fun got taken out of it because we were focusing on this and that. And granted, I've been fortunate enough that, every drag and drive that I've ever entered, I've actually finished.
Nice. Good for you.
Not me.
Not me either.
No.
And that has always been my big thing. Sure, you want the end prize at the end and you want to do these things, but my ultimate goal is, hey, whether it's 600 miles or 1,500 miles, like back in 2002 2011 when we did drag week and it was 1,400 miles,
Right.
you have to finish. And if you're getting into this, and whether it be 11-second car, a 10, 9, 8, whatever it may be, just remember, you got to be able to make it back to your trailer at the end of the event. And that to me is proving to yourself that, hey, I built a car that I drove, X amount of miles and I can still load it in my trailer. That's
Right.
a win to begin with.
Right.
And the preparation that goes into that to actually get to that point, knowing your car, don't show up and not know your car. You got to be able
Right.
to, think a couple steps ahead and you want to plan for the worst, whatever. And some people don't have the financial ability to just carry, a $10,000 turbo 400 or whatever
Right.
it may be, spares. So think of, when you're building your car, think about that. Think about, hey,
Can
we've
I
got
replace this thing if I frag
Yeah.
this thing?
Yeah. Can I replace
and
it?
One more thing on there. This is just my boat. If you are getting into it and you build a 13-second car, to stay home with it. That's a mean statement, but on big events, 21 seconds or whatever some of them were on 30 seconds. Just go to the park, have an ice cream, a pup cup or something. That's just my vote. So that's my opinion.
Hell yes.
Anyways, I know you're having fun, but just leave that slow shit home, because there ain't not one of us hot rodders that want to go to the gate or lean over the fence and watch 13-second shit. So anyways, that's being mean. I'm trying to end it. I had to throw one dig in there.
You're allowed to. It's okay.
Leave that slow shit home.
I think Tom's done a great thing when it comes to, Tom does a great thing when it comes to, like, he started the sick ward, and that
Right.
give those folks a place to take their, 12, or 13 and 15 and 20-second cars to go be part of the event and still be able to do that. And, and this is another thing. There are other events that they can take those cars to. There's some pretty monumental events that are put on right now.
Right.
Drag week and sick week and these things that people can actually take some of that, the faster cars can go to that stuff.
Right.
And, but there's also events where they're not as fast, Big Sky's a great, I would, Austin, with the tracks provided and the scenery and the pace and the car count, that's a great race.
It's fun, dude. It's a
great
race.
It's a really fun race. We're so fortunate because it's literally 3.5 hours from us. It's a great thing that he's done.
Yep.
I don't want to draw this out, but I really think stay within your means. Think of the end goal. Stay within your means. Remember, you got to finish before you get a trophy. You gotta be able to finish the event. And if you finish the event, and whether you've had to have the hard luck thing and you've had to put a, like that dude in Anaconda that was doing a burnout and blew up the motor, and he ended up finding a 4.8 and put it in there.
Yep.
Like you remember Mick Wilkes from England?
Uh-huh.
So the Vauxhall van, Mick Wilkes, I mean, those guys, the hard luck, you just got to be able to finish. That's the end of the day. Just you got to finish. And so whatever it takes for you to take, know the caliber of your car and finish, and then whatever comes after that, it's just a bonus,
Right.
I got a couple other things I guess I want to hit before we take off.
Do.
I do thank all the promoters for putting all this stuff on. The Matt Frost, the Carls, the Tom Baileys,
everybody, man. I mean,
all the dudes for
the Vanderhoofs doing Southeast Street and Yeet.
100%.
Yeah,
it's kind of it's made. I based a lot of my life on these decisions.
Yep.
And then my final note is any of you drag and drive guys or send that, and I seen you posted that this morning again, Adam, and I appreciate it. if anyone wants to donate for Adam or
Aaron Ginn.
Aaron Gins, sorry about that.
Yep.
You're Adam. Sorry.
I'm Adam. It's all good.
Yeah, I need one more of these.
Yes, you
but
do.
Aaron Ginn went and gave at a drag and drive event and took care of a lot of people and then got sick and is still fighting it in the hospital.
He's still in the hospital. He's been in the hospital for over a month now.
Bump his GoFundMe or bump his PayPal and just help a brother out because he is a handy bugger and we need him around and we need him to keep on keeping on.
Well, and exactly. And he's, I mean, you know, even if he's got the best insurance on the planet, he does some of his work out of his garage. So he's going to need a little bit of extra to kind of help him get back moving and get back on top of stuff. So Aaron,
he takes care of both of the transmissions for that whole stack back there and my stack.
So you need, you guys need
him
back rolling.
Not just because of the transmissions, but he's a handy bugger.
He's a hell of a good dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Aaron Ginn, AARONGINN1 at PayPal, or is the PayPal. Check it out for there's also a GoFundMe that's running around there that the Wyoming guys put together. Both are legit, both are perfect, but reach out, help out our homies. They could, they would do the same for you if they had the opportunity.
Agreed.
For sure. Guys, what a hell of a good night. Almost
Aaron,
2 hours.
Aaron's a great guy.
Holy cats.
Aaron was one of the best men in my wedding. So
okay. Yep.
What?
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely, dude. That is cool. Here,
anyhow, he's good dude. Same note with Jay. The drag and drive community has just gotten so huge. I mean,
right.
And hopefully Hyde is watching this because we just said drag and drive.
I dug through my closet. I have a drag and drive t-shirt and I dug and I don't know if I use it as a grease rag or not.
Right.
Yep.
Hey, he's probably not watching because he's paying his big old lawyer and whatnot, but we're going to win that back. Don't you worry about that.
All right. Thanks for fighting the fight, Adam.
Yeah, man.
Peace out. We'll meet again.
No, dude, we're all good. 2 hours in. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone watching. Man, Shawn, Jason, we could talk for 2 more hours. No problem. Easy.
But, absolutely.
But you guys, this was super duper fun. And I can't wait to see you guys next whenever I see you.
Thanks for the opportunity, man. Great show. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
You know I will. I'm going to let you guys get back to bed. It's 9 o'clock, and I'm going to let everyone out on the East Coast. Oh, Jason's already gone. He's out of here. I'm going to let everyone on the East Coast get to bed because it's 11 o'clock at night there. But y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Jason, who's already gone, Shawn, for joining in and having some good whiskey with us. And man, thank you guys all for tuning in. And we will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Episode number 80, Mr. Shawn Fink, Mr. Jason Sack. We are done. I'll talk to you very soon, Mr. Sack and Mr. Fink. So have a good night, y'all. See you guys later.